All right, Friday morning. Thank you for watching the video today. Um, what I'm finding here in John is you don't have to look very far to find the next miracle. Usually, it's just right there on the next page. Um, that's pretty neat. That's the way that Jesus ministered. There's nothing normal or run of the mill or simple about the Jesus ministry, and that's cool. That's really a powerful uh, you know thought that Jesus didn't spend many days just in the mundane, just cruising through. Every day was he used for something, to teach a lesson, to show somebody something, to heal someone. Every day was important in his life, and that was kind of an underlying message that we can take as every day should be a productive, useful day in some way. So anyway, today we're looking at John 6. We'll start John 6, 5 till 12 or 13. Okay, here we go. Um, this is about Jesus feeding the 5,000. Jesus soon saw a huge crowd of people coming to look for him. Turning to Philip, he asked, "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He was testing Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. Philip replied, "Even if we worked for months, we wouldn't have enough money to feed them all." Then Andrew, Peter's brother, spoke up. "There's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what good is that with this huge of a crowd?" "Tell everyone to sit down," Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. The men alone numbered about 5,000. So you figure 5,000 men, double it for women, plus a third more for kids, so 12,000 maybe, somewhere right in that range, realistically. Um, okay, verse 11. Then Jesus took the loaves, he gave thanks to God, and he distributed them to the people. Afterward, he did the same thing with the fish, and they all ate as much as they wanted. After everyone was full, Jesus told the disciples, "Now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted." So they picked up the pieces and filled 12 baskets with scraps left by the people who had eaten from the 5 barley loaves. Okay, so we'll stop there. I got a lot of stuff running through my mind right now I want to mention, but okay. So this is the account in the book of John. It's an account of Jesus' miracle, and in Mark, it's also accounted. But in Mark, when they're going to feed the 5,000, one of the disciples says, "Can we just send him away? Like, there's no way we can feed this many people. We got to just send them away, and they can make it home." And Jesus said, "No, it's too late. It's dark. It's getting dark. They'll never make it home in time. They're too hungry." In this one, uh, what is it? Philip says, "There's no way to feed these many people. There's just no way we can do it. We don't have enough money. We'd have to work for, uh, even if we worked for months, we wouldn't have enough money to feed them." So the disciples are already thinking, carnal mind. Like, we can't do it. Let's just send them home. And we don't have enough money to try to make this happen. The interesting thing here is Andrew, Simon's little brother, um, says this is what we do have. We have this young boy, and he has a sack lunch, basically, with 5 loaves of barley, 5 barley loaves, and 2 fish. I wonder if anybody else has anything. That's probably what he was thinking. Like, I wonder if maybe there's somebody else out here that has a few items that we could throw into the pot and see if we can come up with some food for everyone. And actually, Andrew here with the little boy's lunch was on the right track because, like Jesus said here, he knew what he was going to do. He was testing the disciples to see. And Jesus said, "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He was testing Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. A lot of times, well, let me back up a second. Okay, so Andrew said, "We got this little boy's lunch. Not a ton, but we have something." And that's the message I want to take away from this is, um, sometimes it doesn't take everything. It just takes what you've got. You know, you don't have to have everything you need to start. It's like just like when you purchase a house, you don't have to have like if you're going to buy a $100,000 house, you don't have to have $100,000 to do it. You can, if you have a down payment, if you can get going on things, um, you can buy a house that way. You know, and Jesus operates the same way. If you have what it takes to start, sometimes He'll see you through on the rest of it. He'll make the rest of it happen for you. And that's what He did here with this with the 5,000. They had a little bit of food. They had just a little bit of food to get started, and Jesus was able to multiply that food. And I don't want to compare Jesus to a bank because that's not what I'm saying at all. Nothing even like that. But just the concept of just get started. Just have enough to get started, like when you buy a house. Just have enough to get started, like when He was feeding these 5,000, and by lifting the food to the Lord and blessing the food, He was able to multiply the food. And that's that's the way our lives are a lot of times. Um, you know, like I said, if Jesus is calling us to something and we just have enough to get started and that's all we've got, do it. Just get started, and Jesus will usually see us through on the rest of those things. Um, all right. So okay, and it goes on to tell after they ate and everybody had all they wanted. Um, and they were blessed so richly for this by this food and through this food, and they were abundantly provided more than they needed by a long shot. But Jesus said, after everyone was full, Jesus told his disciples, "Now gather up the leftovers, so nothing is wasted." Jesus doesn't want his um, blessings on us to go wasted, even if it's more than we need, abundantly more than we need. If we get abundantly more than we need to be giving those out to other people. We need to saving those blessings up and using them for others. Definitely don't just let them go by the wayside and be wasted. But, but yeah, that's the idea for the day. Is if Jesus is calling us to something or the Holy Spirit's calling us to something, and we are not equipped, not prepared, He will equip us. He will prepare us. Just like this meal for the 5,000, He will prepare it. He will multiply the food and make it happen. Just get started. Just get started. That's what a lot of these miracles come right down to is just get started. Like the official the other day, 2 days ago, we talked about the official. He took the initiative. He just started. The guy yesterday, the sick man who'd been sick for 38 years, Jesus just wanted him to do it. Just, do you want to be well? Just make a decision to be well. Just start something. The worst thing we can do is sit parked and expect a miracle to happen. That's probably the worst thing we can do, because when we're stationary, when we're sitting here in our own box and we're waiting for something to happen, it probably won't. But when we're out and doing things and involved, God can work through us a lot easier. God can work through us no matter what, but we can have a better impact and do more when we take the first step in faith and do it. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Tell somebody about Jesus. We'll see you at church, Whole Life Church, 10 o'clock Sundays. God bless.